don't even know where to start with this Yu-Gi-Oh! But anyways, this picture is the perfect example. There's so many memes coming out now. It says, give them nothing, but take from them everything. And it's Konami on freaking Leonidas. Oh my gosh, too good. But, you know, we did see some good gameplay, right? Like, you know, Flying C, no, can't really do anything. 10 out of 10 gameplay, right? But anyways, we're here to talk about the North American World Championship qualifier and how Konami straight up just trolled everyone. Like, they deserve #1 spot for Troll of the Year because they didn't even stream the semifinals or the finals. I don't know. Apparently what happened, guys, and we'll talk about the top 64, but I also want to talk about this because it's super relevant, obviously, in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, and everyone's like, dude, rip Yu-Gi-Oh! I know, dude, it's a sad day, and, like, it's just, they're going so backwards with their stuff, and it just doesn't make any sense. But first off, I want to explain why Konami is the best trolls. They had a lot of different gameplay. They had, like, you know, things for fans and stuff like that, where they had the duels of, like, you know, the anime duels. But the most important thing of the World Championship qualifiers is to find out, first off, not only who won, but to see that gameplay. Like, why was this not streamed? And I don't really know what else to say other than it really sucks that a company wouldn't try to allocate not only the correct time frame to fit this into their schedule. I honestly don't know the correct reason. Some people said it was due to camera time frames as far as, like, they're allowed this amount of time to record. We're in this day and age where we can stream with our phones, our tablets. Heck, dude, flip the laptop around, use that, you know, 480p webcam to record the finals. This is very important for the fans. Like, you don't do this to your fans. It's just, it's absolutely horrible. And I think it's unacceptable. Even though, you know, sometimes things do happen. I think this is something that players really wanted to see. And like I said, it's like one of the most important Yu-Gi-Oh! Events of, like, the year for most people. It's going to be something that, you know, people look at for a long time, going back and being like, you know, remember that time in that North American World Championship qualifiers when this happened? We all missed out on that. Like, when League of Legends does their stream, they have, like, 100,000 plus of their, like, you know, viewers coming to see this. And how disappointing would it be to see the final match? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That's it for today. What? Like, I don't know, man. Konami is #1 troll, but, you know, I could talk about how dumb that is for the longest time, and it sucks. And I want to also mention, guys, that it was not in their interest to probably do that. They didn't plan to say, you know what, let's just troll them, not have the ending. I think that they didn't allocate whatever schedule they had correctly, and I think that that's still something, again, that really should have been done. I don't care if it was 480p, as long as we had that audio, you know, a brief, you know, rundown of what the field looked like. I mean, it's kind of hard to see some of the cards sometimes, but for the most part, I think the players just, you know, at least deserve that amount of respect by the community, by the people that are running this, to at least give us that audio, like live feed, tune in, or something like that, to at least say, you know, hey, we can't stream it, but we'll give you guys the audio, or just even with a camera phone to stream it. Like I said, we're in this day and age where, like, phones can stream, so I honestly find no excuse. I would have rather had Michael J. Fox sitting there with a shaky hands recording the finals. I just wanted to see the finals, and it's disappointing to the fans. And again, I can rant about this for like 20 more minutes, but I'm trying to stay positive in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the top decks. So this is a top 64 deck breakdown. So it says, let's take a look at the top 64 breakdown. This is important for multiple reasons. Not only do we get to see, you know, what's the top decks, but it also tells us what's going to get hit on the ban list, what should I sell, what should I pick up, you know, all that good information. Except for Monarch, because that deck is pretty cheap anyways. Minus a few cards, I understand, but for the most part, the deck wasn't too expensive to begin with. But anyways, it says, let's take a look at the top 64 breakdown. So there was 21 Burning Abyss Phantom Knights. That's huge. That's a majority of the decks. And I want to say it's about on par, because if we add Extra Deck Monarch and Domain Monarch, essentially the same cards, if they're going to get hit in general, they will hit, you know, things that are going to affect both. So I want to include these kind of in the same category. So it's pretty much majority of Monarchs and Burning Abyss. Those are the top decks. So those are the decks that are being seen the most in the competitive scene as far as like the top 64. So if you are playing Burning Abyss Phantom Knights, obviously at that point you can, you know, use that information as a guideline to maybe get rid of your cards if, you know, you want to get the most profit off of them. As some of you guys understand, you know, the ban list completely wrecks the decks that, you know, win these World Championships, and a lot of times sometimes they can change the ban list before certain time frames. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see if they do anything relatively soon to the Burning Abyss or the Monarchs. Obviously, Pantheism, Stormforth, a lot of cards can be hit in Monarchs that just make them really consistent. As far as the Burning Abyss, I mean, they've hurt Burning Abyss multiple times, whether it's Tour Guide or some of the Burning Abyss monsters, but we'll have to wait and see what they hit. If you guys want to go ahead and just let me know what you guys think will be hit, actually. That'd be a good topic for this video, is to also talk about Burning Abyss, what cards you think should be hit or will be hit when we're going into that next ban list. And also the extra deck. Well, I don't really feel like it's the extra deck, so to speak, in the Monarchs, but Monarchs in general, I think people don't like dealing with the draw powers, especially in the Monarchs. Or heck, that card that just searches out, you could search out 3 of the same card. I think that card it's just the inherent design of that card was just too good. You can search out 3 copies of the same card and be like, okay, add one to my hand. And you can add the one that searches all of the other cards anyways. It's kind of counterproductive. I feel like it doesn't, I don't know, we have cards at 3 for reasons, at least that's the logic that I like. But yeah, I think that any of the draw power consistency to hit Monarch could definitely be a thing. As far as Azneyes Magician, Perform Pal, the Pendulum base decks, I feel like I was kind of surprised. Well, I mean, to be fair, they did get hit multiple times. I mean, if we had triple Skullcrabat Joker at Monkey Board, then I would say that deck probably would have been in the #1 spot. But obviously, with that adjusted ban list that eventually became the actual ban list, they just not doing so hot anymore. I feel like maybe they'll be able to shine. Maybe if they get 2 Monkey Board, 2 Joker, looking forward into the game. And remember, guys, in the OCG, Blue Eyes is the thing. But the reason why Blue Eyes is so good is because they've destroyed the other decks by the ban list. There's also Demise Cosmo, which I was kind of surprised. I expected a lot more off of this. But keep in mind, guys, there is going to be a lot of cards that are supporting not Monarchs. Well, technically Monarchs and Cosmos, because it makes it so your opponent can't special summon one specific type. So at that point, you just call Synchro, and then Synchro decks lose if you call XYZs, and Burning Abyss, Phantom Knight don't do as much. Burning Abyss, on the other hand, they can kind of sustain a little bit sometimes. But for the most part, Cosmos will be seeing a lot more play, and that's if we are done with the support. We might get one more set of support. There's been a lot of rumors going around saying there's one more set of support for Cosmos. I have no idea, guys. There's no confirmation on this. If I get any more updated news on the next Cosmos, I'll let you guys know. But I personally think the deck is done. Again, they're getting a lot of cards. It's not specifically made for Cosmos, but it supports Cosmos because it's no extra deck stuff, and obviously Cosmos doesn't really need the extra deck. And then there's a Burning Abyss Monarch deck. Well, so it's more so like Burning Abyss. I want to include it in the same category. But we see one Fire King Cosmos, which I thought was a pretty explosive deck. Then just one Pure Cosmos, so I want to consider it in the same category. Then we had one Demise Klee, so I don't think that deck will probably be hit. Other than Demise, to my knowledge, there wasn't that many decks running Demise, other than if we count this, the 5 plus the 1. I don't know if any of these. I don't think these are playing it, but again, I don't know the exact deck list, but I will give you guys the first place deck list. Don't worry, I got you guys on that. I know you guys will want that, so I'll give you guys the first place deck profile once I'm able to get that for you guys. But I feel like Demise is it's a card that's really dirty, right? Looking at Pot of Cupidity coming out, or I think they're calling it Pot of Desire in the TCG. But once we get that card, Demise becomes even more out of control. With that card, because it allows a lot of FTKs to go on. You guys have seen the Nurse Burn with the Demise. If you guys haven't checked that out, I'll leave it down below in the description box. But yeah, I don't know if Demise will get hit, but I feel like it's pretty cheesy. I don't know if you guys have lost that card. I've lost it a lot of times, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have felt the same way. It's a cheese deck, but at the same time, if all these decks get hit, then obviously, some of these other decks that we didn't see too often, they'll see more play, and on top of that, they'll just be better in general. So, be on the lookout, maybe for Demise to get hit. I don't know. What do you guys feel about Demise? Do you guys think it should be hit, 1 at 1? I still think it's viable. I don't know. Heck, do we had 6 cents out of Do you guys remember when we had 6 cents? That was crazy. But yeah, I think that's a good rundown for you guys as far as what went on, because there was also apparently cheaters. But congrats to, I believe it was Eric Christensen for topping. I just saw that the Con I posted an article recently, so I figured give that winner a shout out. And then apparently there was a bunch of cheating going on. From what I know, if you guys want to know the story about the cheating that happened at the World Championships, the qualifiers, But apparently he summoned like a target that he wasn't supposed to be able to summon through like Burning Abyss. But like it didn't really matter because it was just like a monster. It was irrelevant. So at that point, I think that like if he's granted, you know, or if they take away his title, I think that's kind of dumb in a sense because it was something that didn't matter. It'd be like MSTing someone else's MST. Or MSTing a card that couldn't be MST'd and then he attacked for game, and that card was completely irrelevant. Like, if it didn't matter in the duel, then I don't think the person should lose his title. Some people are like, take away his win, he doesn't deserve it, because it was like an irrelevant play is what I'm trying to say. Like, if a card said you couldn't normal summon it, and he normal summoned it, and then he just, like, attacked for game with, like, a complete different card that was irrelevant, then, yeah, I just think it's kind of worthless. But yeah, you guys let me know. I'll try to make another updated video talking about. Well, first off, of course, we're going to do some of the deck profiles for this. I'll get you guys that. If you guys want any information, let me know and I'll try to get it for you guys. I also want to know what happened with the cheating, because all I saw, from what I know, is the guy just saw he got like a target he wasn't supposed to get with a Burning Abyss, and it was, like I said, it was irrelevant because he just needed it just to be like a monster. It didn't really matter which one it was. It's irrelevant. So, yeah, that's from what I know what happened. But, yeah, dude, Konami, you done goofed, definitely. But hopefully this is a good, like, you know, lesson for them in the future. I mean, I don't know why they didn't just say, hey, you know, just anyone got a phone that they can live stream with? Hey, dude, can you just, like, stream this? Like, I don't know. They really should have done that for the fans. But Konami, you won the #1 troll, and there's a top 64 breakdown for the decks at the World Championship qualifier. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'm signing out.